Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be learning how to push Firebase notifications inside our Flutter web application. So this is going to be a continuation video for some of the videos that I have already created. Now you all were facing several problems while pushing notification in Flutter web. So in this video, I will show you all the steps for setting and pushing notifications in Flutter web. And also, I am going to focus on the topic that most of you are facing issues like fail to execute, subscribe on, push manager, subscription fail, no active service worker. We will be learning how to resolve this error and get our device token without restarting our application. Since it's a continuation video, so if you are not able to understand some specific part, so make sure to watch the previous video, otherwise you might face some problems. So let's start. For this example, we are using this code that we have already discussed in earlier video of how to push notifications using Flutter Firebase. We are going to set up and add the functionality so that it is also able to receive notifications for our Flutter web application. As you can see inside Firebase options.dart, we have only initialized it for Android device. We need to also initialize it for web so that it works on web platform. For that, we need to first use Firebase login. Before running this command, make sure that you have installed Node.js and Firebase CLI. Otherwise, this command will not work. It is asking me whether it will send error information or not. Let's select no. Now we need to authenticate. Now login is successful, and here it's showing us the mail that we are logged in. Now inside our Firebase console, click on Add App, select Flutter. We have already done our Firebase login and we have also created a project since we are using an existing project. And now first we need to activate Flutter CLI. Just copy this command and paste it. Now we need to configure our project. Since we have already written some configuration previously, so it's asking that whether we would like to override it or not. As you can see, we have written the Android configuration in our earlier video. So let's select yes and override it. Now it will take some time. Here it is asking that for which platform we want. Make sure to have web checked, otherwise it will not configure for web. For now, let us have for Android, iOS and web. Click on enter. Now it will register for Android, iOS and web. The Firebase options.dart file got changed. Here we are having for Android, web and iOS. Now we have configured it for web. Now we have already written the function for handling background message, foreground message and terminated state message. A thing to note that only foreground message and background message will work for the Flutter web version. The terminated state will not work for. Here we need to do some modification. Here we are initializing our local notifications, but if you check the documentation, it does not support web version. For that, here we cannot initialize it if it's for web. It may cause an error. So we can use if it's web, then if it's not web, only initialize if the platform is not web. Now, if we visit the documentation, you will find that we need to generate a new key pair from our Firebase console. For that, what we can do, we need to visit our Firebase console. Here, settings, project settings, inside cloud messaging. Here we are getting the option to generate a new key pair. Select this. This is our new key that has been generated. Just copy it. When we are calling the get token function to get the fsame token, here we need to pass the vapid key. Here inside push notifications.init, we are first requesting the permission, and after that we are calling firebase-messaging-sw.js to get the device token. Since it was working for Android, but we can separate the logic, like if our platform is web, in that case it will be same, but here we'll pass the vapid key, the key that we have copied, and here we can say device web, device on web, and else the same thing will be having, but this time we will not be passing the vapid key. Now this step is done. For receiving notifications for our web app, we need to create a new file, firebase-messaging-sw.js. So visit our root directory. Here inside web, we need to create a new file, name it as firebase-messaging-sw.js, and here we need to paste this code. Here we need to add our own API key or DOM and database URL. We can copy this inside our project setting, click on general. Now it will show all the application, and from here we can copy this configuration and paste it here inside our index.html. Here we need to check if our service worker is inside navigator or not. So when the script is running, first we need to check if our service worker is navigator or not, and then we need to register our JS file that we have created. When Windows start listening to event on load, and we need to close the function, just format the document. Now we are good to go. Now let us run and test the app on Google Chrome. Just check inspect and check the console. So now, as you can see, there is a problem, like it's giving us that abort error, failed to execute subscribe on push manager, subscription failed, no active service worker. So this was the error that most of you people were getting. But you will find that if we either restart this, then we will find that it's not giving the error, but it is providing us the device token. So what we can do to fix this error, we can just modify the function a little bit. So here, let us create another function, make it static, future, get fsame token. Here we'll be passing number of retries. Let's make it as 3. It means that what we are going to do here, that we will try to get the fsame token for maximum 3 number of times, And if you are able to get the FCM token, then it's good. Otherwise, we'll skip it. So let's check it. Use try catch. Here we'll be using this. So just copy it. And in catch, what we are going to do, we can first print it fail to get device token. And then we'll check if max retries is max retry should be greater than 0, and then we'll gradually decrease the retries every time. Here first we'll try after 10 seconds. So we'll use await future dot delay duration, provide a seconds 10, and after 10 seconds we will be calling return get fsim token, and here we'll be providing max retries to the max retries that we have -1. It means that we are gradually decreasing, and else will return null. We need to also return here something, so we'll be returning the token if it's received. So here first we need to declare the token outside so that it's accessible. We can make this nullable. Now it's okay. Now here, when we are requesting the permission, after that we'll call the get fsim token to get our fsim token. Now just close the app and now just run it. Let us allow the notification. So it's given us that it failed to get the device token, but here we don't need to manually restart. It will call the function again after 10 seconds. And now you can see that we are able to get our device token here after 10 seconds, and we didn't need to manually restart it. So this was the way how we can fix where we are not able to subscribe to push manager before the service worker gets initialized. So it can be solved using this easy method. Now let's test it by pushing some notifications in our messaging. Currently our Chrome is running in background. So let's try to duplicate it and send a test message. So here just copy the device token and test it. Now as you can see that the notification is coming in background, and here also we are getting the data, so that's great. Now let's test for our foreground notification. Open the Chrome browser in foreground, and now let's try to send test notification. Here we are got a message in foreground, but it is not able to handle the message in foreground. What we can do for handling, previously to handle notification on foreground, we were using Flutter local notifications, show simple notification, but since Flutter local notification does not work with web platform, we can write some other code. Like if you really want to show a pop-up notification if a new notification arrive in foreground. In that case, what we can do to handle notifications on foreground on web platform, just name it as void show notifications. You will be requiring string title and string body. You can modify this depending upon your need, so there's no restriction. You will be using show dialog. For context, we can use this navigator key. So we'll use navigator key dot current context and need to add null check. And here we'll be using alert dialog. Now here we can simply show the title as text, the title that we are receiving from our push notification, and the content text body. Now in actions we can give some button like text button of child text. Okay. Now we need to call this show notification function here. Since we were printing got a message in foreground, we need to first check if the platform is web or no. So if our message dot notification is not null, means we have received some notification. So if our platform is web, in that case we'll call show notifications, and here we need to pass the title. Title was inside message dot notification dot title. We need to add null checks here, and body was inside message dot notification dot body. Else, if platform is not web, in that case we will use Flutter local notifications. Now it's okay. Now just open the app in foreground. Here just send a test message to our device token. You can see that here we are getting an alert dialog. It's showing the test notification as well as the body. So here we can just use navigator pod. Now let's try to test it again with some other notification. Now let us try to push another notification. Make sure to run the Chrome browser on foreground and now click on test. Now as you can see, here we are getting an alert dialog, and here we have more notification title and body. So this how we can push notifications in the foreground for our Flutter web application. Now let us take another example. This is the code that we have done in our previous video regarding how to push notifications and save device token to Firestore. So this is going to be a different example, but the approach will be same. Here we have already initialized it. First, we need to not use Flutter local notifications because it does not support for Flutter web. First we need to check if k is web. In that case, will not be using local notifications, otherwise we'll be using Flutter local notifications. So this will solve the issue. And since we have already configured it for web, Android and iOS, we are not reconfiguring it again, but you can do it if you have not configured it for specific platform. Simply visit Firebase console and click on add app and select platform and configure your app, and this time select the platform like web if you have not selected previously. Then it will add this web options. Now similar to our previous example here, like if we follow the documentation, we need to first get our web push token. So from our dashboard inside project setting, cloud messaging, generate, we need to generate a new key pair. Just generate it. This is the new key pair. Just copy it and here visit the notification service file, and here we need to separate the logic for saving the fsim token to Firestore and getting the device token for specific platform. So let's write another function to save token to Firestore. You will be expecting string token to be passed, so make it required. So all this thing will come here, make it async. And now, like our previous example, first we'll check if our platform is web, or instead we can use the function that we have already written to get the sim token. We can simply copy this and paste it here. Just change the name of the function. It was get device token, and here the key pair was different, so just copy this key pair and paste it here. Now if we call this get device token function, it will get the device token. For the first time, if it is not able to get the device token, it will wait for more 10 seconds, and after that it will again try to get the device token, and it will do this for maximum 3 times. After it completes 3 times and it's not able to get the device token, it will return null. So that's the thing. Now here we need to also do some setup for our Flutter web. First we need to check if our service worker is there in navigator or not. After script, check service worker is there or not. Then add this line to register our service worker.js file. Then close the function, format it, create a new firebase-messaging-sw.js file. Inside web, create a new file, copy this code. Here we need to get this. So we can either get this from our firebase options.dat file. Here the web firebase options for web will be the key values that we need. Just copy this and paste it here. Now for handling messages in our foreground, we are going to be using the same logic that we have used in our previous example. First, we'll be copying this show notification function to show an alert dialog. This will be outside main function. And for handling foreground notifications for a web platform, we can use this. Currently, we are only handling if notification is not equal to null, and we are using local notifications. But since local notifications does not work for web platform, we need to add this logic. We have created a custom function to show an alert dialog, and there we will show the title and body. So now let's save it. Now let's try to restart our application. Don't forget to inspect it. Now let's log in. Here we are getting the device token. Just copy the token, add the token, and let's send out this message. Here, as you can see, here we are getting uh, an alert dialog that is showing the title as well as the body, and it means that it's working in foreground. Now let's try to run it in background. Now, as you can see here, we are receiving a background notification. It means background notifications are also working. So here I choose to show this example because it's a little bit different. Because here in our previous video, we have learned how we are saving the device token inside our Firestore database. So for that, here we have not linked that. So after we are getting the token, it means here we are returning the token. Here instead of returning the token, we'll save token to Firestore. And here we need to provide a token. So the token will be the token. So it's saying static member can't be. So here we need to make it static. Just add a null check. Let's close it and run the application again. Now here it's saying save the device token. This is the new device token. Let's verify with our Firestore database. So yes, it is able to save our new FC token. So now it's okay. So we have successfully learned how to add Firebase push notifications for our web platform, and here we also learn how to handle foreground and background notifications. So that's all for this video. Now I hope that you will be able to push notifications to your user from Firebase to Flutter web application, and I will also be updating all the previous codes that I have used and provide the links in the description. So that's all, and thanks for watching.